Hey, how are you? Wanted to make another video on what to expect in year 2 on starting an insurance agency. So let's dive right into it. So guys, I talk a lot about what an agency looks like in the first 6 months, the first year, which is extremely important because those months are crucial. But I want to talk today about year 2 and how that kind of starts to change a little bit from year 1. So year 1, guys, first 6 months, I talk about this all the time. It really sucks because if you're transitioning from a captive world or working at another agency even, you have a lot to learn. There's a bunch of stuff that's new to you. There's different agency carrier company portals to log into and to understand their platforms and their dashboards and their products and how networking works and how to build up those relationships and even close deals or take payments to your agency or marketing or accounting. I could go on and on. There's so many things that you kind of start to learn, and those first 6 months are rough because you're getting all that out. You're trying to figure all that stuff out. So for me, that was a painful time. I had to learn a lot and made a bunch of mistakes, stuff that I felt, at times it was just like, I cringe at some of it right now, but, it's necessary. You can't know what you know without going through that. So looking back at it, obviously there's so many things I would change, and that's why I make these videos, to try to help you so you don't make the same mistakes and you can get that out now and listen to my mistakes. So first 6 months, rough. 6 to 12 months, you kind of started feeling like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I started to actually hire around 10, 11 months, and that's kind of when stuff started to change. It was almost the year 2 mark. So after the first year kind of came around, now we're in year 2. What you can expect is renewals. That's the big thing everybody is looking forward to, is the renewals. Now year 1's under you, you made your sales for the year. Now year 2, they start to come back around. So those renewals start to come back around, and that is the main difference because now you're going to have some real revenue to play with. And I'll give you guys real numbers here. So this is just ballpark, by the way, off the top of my head. I don't know exact numbers, but we sold somewhere between like 250 or 300,000. And I say we, but it was really just me by myself. My year 1, 250 to 300,000, which you can translate to 10% roughly, roughly 10%, 25 to 30K in revenue. So that year 2 kind of coming around, I was like, okay, now I have this much money to play with. What am I going to do with it? Am I just going to pocket it all or reinvest it, just stay here by myself? I said, no, I'm going to start to delegate. I'm going to start to put it into areas where I think I need help, and so I can focus more on stuff that I'm good at, which I felt was like the networking, talking to people, doing some sales. Still good at customer service. I feel like I'm decent at it. Marketing. So I took that money and I hired somebody. I said, I'm going to hire part-time, somebody to just help me do some service work so that I'm not stuck half the day changing in policies and doing payments and stuff like that. So I hired service manager. She's still with me. She's fantastic. I also went through a couple other people before her, and that was not ideal. You gotta kind of get your, that's another thing, hiring. So different hats. Basically what I'm trying to say is you're going to start wearing different hats. You're not just going to be selling anymore. You're going to be training people. You're going to be coaching. You're going to be, doing accounting, marketing, all these different hats. So expect that first year round renewals to come around. And I like to, describe it as a snowball. Year 1, it's a baby snowball. Year 2, your renewals start to come around. You start to stack policies on top of that. You sell more. So the snowball starts to get bigger. Plus your current clients, they start telling their friends. So then now you have this like already trust snowball. I kind of call it a trust snowball, that it starts to other snow starts to see that, and they start to trust it and start joining it. So I'm just making stuff up, but it really starts to pick up year after year, and that's the beauty of the industry. It's a great industry to be in. And that's kind of what the year 2 starts to look like. You're going to have another stack of renewals and more money to play with, and prepare yourself with procedures, processes, because now you have to be able to duplicate it. And what you do and what's in your head and what makes sense in your head needs to be able to make sense to people you're bringing in, And just even if it's just you, year 2, you really want to have something that's concrete that you can build upon, and it's not just something you're just winging every email. Like, you want to have an email template and a format, and like you want to have these structural pieces of the business in place. So that's pretty much what I would say year 2 starts to look like. Still expect to make very little money. A lot of people out there might say, yeah, like I crushed it. If you're out there making 500,000 to $1 million in sales year 1, good for you. There's definitely agents out there that do it. I'm just keeping it real with everybody how I did it. I didn't do that. Luckily, I'm young and I can afford not to pay myself for the first couple of years. And I think that'll pay off eventually, but we'll see. But expect to, in my opinion, if you're really trying to grow something meaningful, expect to pay yourself very, very little. If you start drawing from the business, not much room for growth. So don't draw too early. I think year 2 is another heavy reinvesting year, and no more excuses, because now you know what you're doing. So get in there, foot on the gas every single day, show up, nose to the grind, go the extra mile, and make sure you have those processes, those procedures in place, and get after it. No excuses. You know what you're doing now. Year 2, the money's, always look back at the last year, and I always look back at like last June. This is made in June, this video, and I look last year's June, and I'm like, what the hell was I doing? Why was I not making more sales last June? Because now those start to translate in renewals this year, and I'm like, wow, it really would have been nice if I made a couple more sales, or I really kind of stacked on. So work hard, because next year you're going to be like, what's going on? I wish I made more sales. So work hard. Delayed gratification, you will see it later. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Year 1 and 2, crucial years, so make the most out of them. I think like 90-something% of businesses fail in the first 2 years. So if you can make it past year 2, you're in a good spot, and you should have a good grasp on where you're at by then. So year 3, make another video on that. But if you guys are interested or have any more questions specifically, leave it in the comments. Please, guys, if you're getting any value, please ring the bell, follow, subscribe, and give us a like, and share this video with a friend if somebody you think can benefit, if they're in their first couple years and need to hear this. Send it to them, and let me know. Go to chriscostantini.com if you want to schedule consulting. I do that as well for anybody who needs it. So happy to do that. And we also have processes and procedures on there that we have built for the agency that have worked for me. So if you're interested, go do that. In the meantime, I will continue to build the agency here, and we'll do everything we can to activity levels, have that massive action, because it will pay off next year in year 4, which I'll make another video of looking back at this, and I'll be like, what the hell were you doing back then, Chris? So that's all I got. Hopefully that was helpful. I will see you guys at the top, and yeah, hopefully that helped. We'll see you guys soon. Good luck. Peace.